And welcome back, Grief Nation listeners. It's your girl, Miami Night, your master grief educator and trainer, also known as your grief guide goddess. I am so excited to have this group of people in the house with me tonight. We are talking about Sacred the Movie, which is premiering in Pensacola, Florida on November 5th and 6th this weekend. So grateful to the cast for being here this evening to answer all of your questions about Sacred. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling?
We're doing good.
Well, thank
Thank you
you.
for having us.
You are so welcome. You are so welcome. Okay, so just to start out, because I want to know about this industry that's happening, has been happening for some time now. But please, Darren, if you could describe to us, like, what actually is the backstory about the film industry there in Pensacola?
So the backstory of the film industry in Pensacola is it's it was shallow. Shallow in terms, not a bad way. It's just that we didn't have a huge outlet. We've had theater. There have been some companies here that's done some local um, movies or TV shows or something of that nature, but hasn't been on a big scale. It hasn't reached abroad. And so now that we have been 5 years now in the making with Manager of the Year and been doing a lot of our grinding and hard work, the industry now in Pensacola is going to change because we're bridging the gap between the film industry in terms of everyone going out to Atlanta or everyone going out to LA or Miami or New York. We're now giving them an opportunity to be able to film right here in Pensacola, Florida. And that's a testament to Enrico Tunstall for what he's done with Manager of the Year. It's a testament to what he's done in his career in LA Film School and being able to come back to Pensacola and start the company Manager of the Year and be able to put his clients through a Actors Corp. I came out of Actor Corp 4 as valedictorian, and that was my opportunity to do TV and film. I did theater for 9 years with Papara here in Pensacola. So having an opportunity to switch to TV and film has been an amazing journey. And I thank my wife for pushing me out there to do that and introducing me or showing me what El Rico was doing at the time and being able to reach out to El Rico and take his class. And then he and I has just made history side by side. He has a wonderful support cast and Manager of the Year that's been there before me that has been with him side by side. So just to be able to come aboard and be with him side by side and do some great, wonderful things with him and his company and his brand has been amazing.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, Nora, what is the, tell me a little bit about your background journey into being an actress.
Well, it started a while ago. I don't have as much experience as my husband, but I've always known that I want to be an actress. I told my mom that I wanted an Oscar one day, and when she passed away, I knew when my grandmother pushed me into going into theater, and I did theater under Leroy Williams, and it's I love it. I love trying to remember lines. I push myself. It's competitive for me, and then when I met Enrico, Mr. Tunstall, I guess he saw something in me that I didn't know I had. And so it's been an awesome experience. And for him to have me, he sends me on audition. He sent me to an audition last year, and that was like my first time. And it was great. It was an awesome experience. And I was like, for him to think of me, to send me, out that way. And so I love it. I absolutely love it. It's a great experience just to be on the road, to be filming, to have the camera in your face. And I love it. I just love the experience.
Oh, okay. So share with us about your backstory and your journey being an actress, LaMonica.
So for me, I did theater and drama in high school, and I also acted at my church in our drama department. But I actually came across the casting call for Sacred on Facebook. And I said, oh my goodness, I have to go. And the backstory with that was it was definitely divine because my mom actually passed away a year ago. And the day before she passed away, I told her I wanted to get back into acting. And she was the type of person where she pretty much pushed you to do whatever it is that you wanted to do. She didn't care if you changed your career path every day. She was more so do what makes you happy because life is not promised. And she was definitely a person that strived with, using your time wisely because your time you can't get back. So when I saw the casting call, I was like, this is a sign from my mama and
Yeah.
from God that I've got to go. And I was the first person in line. I was there at 8 o'clock. The casting, I don't think it was scheduled to start until like 10. I was there, first one, ready to go. So it's been
Yeah.
exciting, been a journey. And I did, after I got the role, I did take Actors Core class 15. We are the best class, the baddest class to come through, Manager of the Year. Um, so it's just been amazing. It's been a journey, and I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to more roles for sure.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. And Sade, what's a little bit
Okay,
of your backstory?
so this Sacred the Movie is my very first acting experience. So I am a singer and model, so I was just, out of my element, right? So when Elrico sent the casting call, I was like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll come. And at the day of, I was like, I don't know about this. I don't think I'm gonna go. Just because honestly, to be honest with you, I really didn't know which character to choose. So that's what kind of like held me back, and I was out of my element. So I went and didn't think that I was gonna get a call back. Got a call back eventually, and then went back for the second call, and I really did not think that I was going to get it seriously. I was like, hey, thanks for the opportunity, so on and so forth. And he was like, oh, just hold on, you'll be hearing from me soon. I was like, okay, great. And next thing you know, the live came out and announced the names. He said my name wrong, so I didn't know who he was talking about. So there were so many things that kind of happened in that whole thing. But here I am, as Tony and in the movie Sacred, and it's amazing. And then since then I've been cast for 5 other roles. So
Wow.
it's been a great opportunity.
And how did you know that acting was one of your superpowers?
When I would read books to my kids and I would be the characters, each individual character, and I would be just so animated about reading the books, and then in my music videos I would act out the scenes. So it was like, okay, I think I'm supposed to be doing something else here. And when I was able to remember my lines, I it had to be, you know what I'm saying? So and then it's something that I love. Um so yeah, that's how I knew.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that question is posed to anyone else. How did you know that acting was another one of those gifts that you had?
Um, so for me, and I gotta be honest, and because I think this is really what transcended my mind in the acting. Um, I always would conversate, especially if I'm driving or if I'm out and about. I have conversations with myself and third, fourth, fifth people, simply because it keeps me in tune with character builds, and it keeps me in my mind sharp with going into a character, or portraying someone. So I'm always having conversations when I'm by myself, and I talk to so many different people. And that's been my way of knowing that, okay, then obviously the business that you need to be in is probably acting, because that's simply what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, just to keep myself in tuned into what I'm doing in this craft.
Yeah. So let's talk about these characters and talk about Sacred. Share, anyone can just jump right out there and share about your character and just about what do we need to know about Sacred the movie.
My character is a woman with very, very few words. I speak with my eyes. Um, yeah, I love
What's your
my
character
kids.
name? What's your character name?
My character name is Sharika Brooks. I am married to Dr. Darren Brooks. And yeah, right now I have very few words. I hold my expressions in my eyes, but I am a woman that loves my kids. We have four kids. And so I love all of my kids. I don't think I have any favorites. I think my favorite will probably be Dante and Lamont. Well, Naomi. They may be my favorite ones, I think. But it's I'm just a woman of very few words right now. I'm A lot of people just think I'm chilling, and that's what I'm doing. I'm chilling. I'm
Okay.
chilling.
And
Yes.
Dr.
Dr.
Brooks.
Brooks.
Excuse me,
Uh-huh.
Dr. Brooks. Yes.
No, no, not a problem. So Dr. Brooks, so I have a daughter, that is my favorite, Sophia Brooks. Um, and my character, I think that what people will be able to see, I play a sociopath. Um, so that's going to bring a lot of drama, a lot of different vibes, a lot of different aspects to the movie, the series. But his character, strength of the family, we're Pensacola's first family. And we are very strong, united. And it's a very powerful family. So when I say that they're going to be in awe about this movie and this series, they really are going to be at like, wow, because they're going to see so much that's going to transpire with just everything.
So kind of set us up here in a scene. So I'm not knowing anything about this movie. I'm coming to see it. You're promoting it. So it's about a doctor and his family, or is it about just a hospital? Give us a little bit more details.
It's not a hospital, it's a drama.
Okay, a drama. Okay. I did see
Yes.
that somewhere. Okay.
So to set it up, yes, it's a doctor that is very intelligent, very very well off, very modeled citizen of the community, church going, gives to the church, very liked by the community. And then he's also loved by his wonderful, beautiful daughter, Sophia.
Okay. All right. Okay. And Sade.
I just heard a whole bunch of shade there, Naomi, just a little bit.
Girl.
My character, Tony, Tony is extremely mysterious. Nobody really knows where Tony came from. They don't know why she here, why she got all this information, how she got all this information. But Tony don't want no smoke with nobody. She just there to report the news. So if anybody got a problem with Tony, then take that up with her lawyer. But she's interesting.
Mhm.
Is what I'll say about Tony.
Stay tuned. It's the Miami Night Show. We'll be right back.
Growing up, my dad always told me and my stepbrother Larry, there are two types of people in this world. There are the ones who live, and there are the ones who are only born to die in this world.
Have you been a bad boy, Charles?
Yes, miss.
Like I said, manager of the year is a very strong bonded company that is doing a lot for this city and community. Like I said, Enrico, with his knowledge in LA Film School and with all of his contacts that he had in LA and with directors and agents and producers, he's able to network and send so many clients to different cities for auditions. Well, in doing so, having such a wonderful company like Manager of the Year and having the ability to have so many wonderful actors here in Pensacola, there was the opportunity behind creating Sacred to say, hey, we can also build a film circuit right here in Pensacola.
Mhm.
Allow our actors here to be able to stay home and be able to work on a constant basis because he's so creative with his writing that he has so many projects that he has just waiting to come out, and having the ability to bring all of those projects out and having so many wonderful actors to portray these roles, that's given him a platform to say, I can build the film industry right here in Pensacola and allow us to be here and work on a constant basis, because sometimes in this industry, you may get a job next week, next month. It may be 6, 8 months before you work again, sometimes even a year before you work again. And so now we'll have an opportunity through Manager of the Year to be able to work on a constant basis. And then this will be our full-time permanent jobs to be able to do this on a regular basis.
Yeah, and see, that was like one of my next questions. Like, what are the struggles that are there? It sounds like now that there have been so many things implemented, so that now, that's no longer a thing. It's just being in the right circles. Sound like now in Pensacola, like just being in Atlanta, going to Miami, or any of the other big industries. It's just not. It's Pensacola is making a name for itself. I'm guessing.
Absolutely, it really is.
So what's the vibe on set, y'all? Tell me what's happening on set.
Fun. And
Absolute fun, yes. Laughter, jokes, just
yes.
I don't know. We're all a big family, so it's fun.
Yes.
Yes, it is very fun. When we finished filming, it was like we was just waiting. Everyone on the Facebook group, our Facebook group, we was just waiting for one of our executive directors, Calvo. We love you, Calvo. We was just waiting for him to say, we need to get back on set. We need to redo this. We was just waiting. As tired, we was very tired, but we was just waiting for him to say, "Hey, we got to do this scene one more again," you know.
Mhm.
And it never happened because we killed it. We just killed it. But
Yeah.
but yeah, we had fun. We were having withdrawals afterwards. We was really
Yes.
having a lot of
Mhm.
withdrawals, but
Absolutely.
we had fun, and it was when we was getting close to some of the last days. We were tired. People were forgetting their lines, and but we was still having fun. But we was tired, exhausted. But we was ready for the next day when we filming, where we going, and this and that. So that is set life, and we're ready to dig in and start again.
Yes.
So when did this begin? So when did you initially start filming?
August.
Well, back history of Sacred, we actually this was a 5 year ago project that came to El Rico and wanted to do this particular project. We started it, but then of course COVID took shape, and we lost 2 years of being able to do anything. So now that things have gotten back on the up and up, and now that we've been able to get out and about and do some things, um, he came back to the table with Sacred. But this time he opened up a very large audition. We had probably 400 online auditions that came up, and then we also had about 200 in person auditions. And so once he put it out that we were going to start filming Sacred, and we needed to get actors and we needed to get background, and everybody just flocked to Facebook and they seen it, and it was overwhelming with how much support and how many people came out just to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And then from there, it started the process of getting a script and reading the script, knowing who you were going to play, and then going into character and learning the lines. And then we finally got the call, hey, this is when it's going to start production. And that's when it got real for us, because we knew, okay, we're getting ready to be on set for close to 17 days, even though we finished early. But we had the expectation of being on set for 17 days to film this particular movie, featured film, and the rest is history. And come November 5th and 6th, the world will be able to see, Pensacola will be able to see Sacred.
Yes.
And let me say something. There was a lot of people that came to the auditions, and we had people from Ohio, Houston, Crestview. We've had quite a few people from just ways away. But El Rico is the type of person, he gives everyone a shot. I mean, majority of those people, they got a role in Sacred. And that's what's so awesome about him. He doesn't turn people away. If he sees something in you, you're gonna have a part. And sometimes even if he doesn't see as much in you, but you have the confidence or whatever, he's still gonna give you the opportunity to be a part. And that's what's so unique about him. I mean, out of all those people that came, I would say majority, if you were in a local person, because he don't want to waste your time. But if you are a local person, you're going to have a shot of being in Sacred. He's going to put you somewhere, regardless of whether you're a main character or a background character. He's going to put you there. And a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, you can travel to Atlanta or other places and you'll be sent back home. You're not gonna have a shot, but he does that. He gives everyone an opportunity, and that's what's so great about him. That's what's so unique about him.
Yeah, and just the atmosphere, the opportunity, and everything. So I bet you
Right.
it's so much easier for you to be able to do what you do. You know what I mean?
Right.
To get into
Mhm.
character. And speaking of getting into character, what are some of those things that you do to get into character? Anyone can respond.
So with my character, she's a little sexy throughout the whole movie. So for me, I like to listen to some slow jams, to kind of get you in the mood on my way to set. And I definitely have to go there mentally.
Research, reading books on just different characteristics, um, of my character, just to, know why they operate the way they operate, why they think the way they think. So I do a deep dive study. And then once I do that, then I start to put myself into that mindset. I start to become that particular person. Um, and then as I do that, and as we get into filming, I put myself completely immersed into that character, that person. Um, and I stay that way until we are done filming, because uh, it's very important, because you never know what situations are, and you never know what needs to happen. And my reality is always whatever I play, that's my reality. I'm that person.
So how long are your days for being on set? I mean, what does it look like?
Oof.
Oh,
Hours straight. Set day was 14 hours.
Mm. Wow.
Let's see. I know when I was in Atlanta, one of my times there, 19 hours was my longest in Atlanta. Um, for Sacred, I can put it this way. I got on set probably at 6 p.m. And I got off set at 6 a.m.
Mm. Mm. So what in
So
what inspires you all? I know that just the role in itself of you, you being creative and you being an actor, but what continuously inspires you? So if you had to think of a guide that you've had in your lifetime, it could be a spiritual guide or a family member, a family that has died, or just someone that it was a great teacher in your life. At what point of your journey right now? And what advice would they have for you as you're taking this journey now, head on, and you're at this juncture, you have this premiere this weekend? What would they say to you, and who would that be for you?
for me, it would be my mom, and I know she would tell me, don't give up, keep fighting, that you got this, and as long as you got God, He's got you. So just keep doing what you're doing and do it the right way. So
Yeah.
Ashe.
for me, it's a combination. It's my wife who supports me. So I have drive from her. It's my mother, my dad in California, um, my stepmom, of course, my brother,
Mhm.
who has been all of my brothers. They are so much supportive to me. Um, my manager, Elrico, the whole manager of your family. I can go on and on. The city of Milton. I mean, I can just go on with just who can just say, wonderful things about, how proud they are in terms of what I'm doing. So, I have to just credit my kids. They're just right there with me. Um, so I just really have to just say, on a combination of just family support, church family,
Mhm.
just everything. Kingdom Harvest has really been so supportive, to everything that we're doing and what I'm doing. So just a full family support.
Like Dr. Brooks there. It
Mhm.
would be it would be a few different people, but first, my grandmother, she passed away in 2002. Um, I had a very tough upbringing, and she was my best friend. She was somebody that I could definitely go to and talk to because I didn't have a friend in the world to talk to about a lot of the things that I was going through. And I wish that she could see me now. So I feel now that she would say, I'm proud of you, baby girl, and I love you.
Mm.
Um, Gee whiz. All right, don't cry, don't cry. Okay. Next is my children. They are, I enjoy being their role model, especially my girls. Um, and I love and appreciate them so much for being strong and working with me through this entire process. I know it's not easy for them to have me gone and doing things that, I normally wouldn't be doing. And I know that they are saying, great job, mama. I'm so proud of you. This is amazing. My mama's on TV,
Yeah.
my mama's this, my mama's that. So they're so proud to have me, be on this platform. And my dad and my brothers, they're huge, huge supporters. And I really appreciate everything about them and who they are to me on this journey.
Absolutely. Thank you all for sharing that, and especially if your loved one is no longer here, and just still having to be being able to be inspired by their energy, by their grace, their love. They're still with us. They're still, making sure that we gonna keep going. One thing that I often tell my clients, or just share with other grievers, because it's the Miami Night Show Grief Talk. We definitely do talk about grief here, and we love to give self-care tips and just a way to be able to help people process emotions. So one of the things that I love when you all spoke about your greatest teacher or what they would say, I just want to let that be a reminder to you to always keep that in a note somewhere. Keep it somewhere near your computer, keep it in your phone, keep it next to your bedside, just to be a reminder that you still have ancestors, loved ones that are still seeking and looking out for you, and all that you're doing. So just keep going. As most of you said, that would be what your greatest teacher would have shared and still is sharing to you. We talked about how you get into character, but what do you do to decompress? So what are some things that you can share with the Grief Nation listeners to decompress, to come out of character, to be able to show up as your authentic self back with your wife or your significant other or your children?
So for me, because I play a lot of vast different characters, and because the character that I play in Sacred is such a dynamic and difficult character to play. I have to go to my spiritual guidance, my pastor over at Kingdom Harvest. That's who I lean on to be able to bring me back, because having that spiritual guidance is what I need for characters like this that I play, especially for this type character. I really need to have that spiritual guidance that can put me back into focus, that can get me back on track, and put reality back into place. Because a lot of people don't realize, these are characters that we're playing. It's not our everyday life. It's not, who we are in life. They're characters, but because we play these characters so well, and because we go so deep sometimes, depending on the character you're playing, you can get lost in it. You can really get into the point that this is you. And so you need to have that spiritual guidance to bring you back around, just to refocus yourself, because some of these characters are very demanding, and you have to be able to do what needs to be done.
Anyone else?
So for with my character Naomi, I do a lot of reading and meditating after I get done on set. Just kind of regrouping and like my father said, coming back to reality of who you are, because who LaMonica is in real life is not Naomi, vice versa. So I think it's good to also know who you are, even stepping into this industry, because like, again, you can get lost in the sauce. You know, you can become this person that's imaginary. So it is definitely a plus to know who you are and who you belong to coming into acting in the film industry.
Yeah, and thank you so much for saying those things, like boundaries and whose you are, and the support system, and the reading, the meditation, all of those things to help you decompress. Self-regulating exercises, I'm sure, just de-stressing. You know, we have to have that, even if we just go into a 9 to 5, excuse me, 8 to whatever it is. But I mean, 9 to 5. Like, I don't go in nowhere, so I'm confused. But anywho, yeah, just having some tools to decompress. I think that is it's we don't talk about it enough, especially within the Black community, of having these tools and ways to be able to decompress and to be able to, you know, have a safe mental health day and space. Mental health is really on my radar to talk about and to share. So that's why I thought it was pretty important to share with other listeners, and especially other actors and actresses that want to get into this field. And sometimes when you don't get it your way, or you're disappointed. And so I'm so grateful that, Nora, that you did share that the gentleman who is over this, that he's willing to work with people. But sometimes, you know, this could be someone's last straw, and if it's a no, what do I do? So having these some tools to give to people to know how to create it as a ritual or routine every day, to be able to come back to yourself. Boundaries are very, very important. What boundaries have you guys set around film life, or this life of this industry? What boundaries have you set for yourself and your family?
For me, it's letting everybody know what I will and will not do. You know, I will not compromise my integrity for a role. So if I feel uncomfortable, I'm definitely going to say it. I don't use profanity, so you won't catch me in a role where I have to. I will change the word real quick if you try me. So, you know, just understanding those things. It, and like LaMonica said, knowing who you are. So if you're confident in that, then you won't have any issues putting your foot down and saying this is what it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that, because it's just such a great time in America for Black women. How
Yeah.
do you all, ladies, as being Black women, feel about this opportunity for yourselves?
I feel blessed. I think it's a blessing, especially in Pensacola, where it's not much film going on. So I look at it as a great blessing. There were so many people before me that I looked up to, that I really, really wanted to meet. And they passed away. But I'm like, you know, I still, Queen Latifah, she's my all-time favorite. I can watch anything that she does. And it's like, she's a singer, she's a, you know, she hip hop artist and an actress, she's phenomenal. So for me to be able to even have someone see that in me, that okay, you're a good actor, you can act and this and that. I mean, I think it's such a blessing.
Yeah.
You know, that's all I can say. It's such a blessing in this time, in this day, in Pensacola.
Yeah.
To say that I'm an actress, you know, to put that on my resume. I'm an actress. It's a blessing.
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
I think for me particularly is I get to be that person. I get to be that woman, that Black woman that other Black women can look to and be inspired by. That is like phenomenal to me. Like, sis, I see you. And when I hear that, I'm like, you're right. I see me too, sis.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we out here now. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's just a blessing to be able to now be in a position
Mhm.
to be an inspiration to
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
Black women and little girls and
Mm.
women and girls of color. We
Yes.
all are represented, and yeah, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's so good to see us, be us, do us, by
Yes,
Right.
us, for us. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Yes.
yes,
It's just such
Yes.
an amazing and beautiful time. Not that we are taking anything from men. It's just, first of all, as a Black culture, it's so stated that Black women can't work together, and that's a lie. Yes, we can.
right.
Exactly.
We can. We
Exactly.
can do anything that we put our minds to, but I'm just so grateful that this space has created the opportunity for three beautiful women to be able to be a part of such a monumental thing that's going to be happening in Pensacola over this weekend. And I
Right.
know you probably shared like what's happening on Saturday and Sunday, but could you share that again for the listeners?
So November 5th, we'll be premiering it at our red carpet event. That will be at the Amos Theater at Pensacola State College, WRSC Studios Theater. And so there we will be showcasing the film premiere there. Also on November the 6th at the Pensacola Blue Wahoo Stadium, we will be also showcasing the film premiere there on their big jumbotron. So um, that right there is a great testament to what El Rico
Mhm.
has done for this city.
That's huge.
For
That's
these
huge.
actors, it is it is extremely huge for what he is doing, and it is going to be a changing moment for the city of Pensacola when this weekend is over, because it's going to show that there is a lot of work that Manager of the Year has been doing. There has been a lot of work that has been put in to everything over these many years that he has had Manager of the Year in place. And now it's going to show just how strong of a unit that we are. And
Mhm.
so my hat's off to El Rico again, to his family, his wife who supported him. It has just been a tremendous journey, and we have such a long way to go, and so much is going to be done. He has put together a tremendous production staff
Mhm.
that has been so supportive to us, that has been just doing some amazing things behind the scenes for this production, this film, this everything. And we're just so grateful as cast. And I'm even grateful just as a representative for Manager of the Year to just see him grow and
Yeah.
blossom.
Mhm.
It's his moment, it's his
Mhm.
time, and he's bringing everybody with him.
Yeah.
And, like my wife said, that's a testament to just anybody trying to get into this business. He's bringing everybody with him. It is
Mhm.
amazing and what's going on. So this weekend is going to be a blast.
Yes.
So those is listening, if you haven't, get your tickets. Get your tickets. If you
How do we get
haven't,
the
get your
tickets? Talk
tickets.
to us about that. How do we get tickets?
So
How
of course, on it now, it's going fast. I know last I heard for us in Eventbrite for Saturday, the tickets for the general admission are $30. They can go on to Eventbrite, put in Sacred, the movie, and there they'll be able to purchase tickets. But like I said, that's been going extremely fast. That's almost sold out. If not, probably sold out. But then you have the Wahoo Stadium. You can go to their website as well. You can go to manageroftheyear.net. The link is on there that will get you to the ticket site. And you can also walk up. Now, if you get them beforehand, they're $10. Day of the show, they'll be $20.
Okay.
So you have your options. You can get them early for $10 if you go to managertheyear.net and click on the link or go to the Blue Wahoo Stadium website. Or like I said, you can come on the day of and go through the box office, and then you can purchase your tickets there as well.
And
But
kids under 12, it's free.
absolutely,
Kids 12 and under is free.
Okay.
So fun-filled weekend. It's gonna be amazing. There's so much happening this weekend with Sacred, and so it's gonna be phenomenal. So don't miss this opportunity to see history.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. Now, before I let you all go, I'm going to ask one question and you give me your one answer. Let's talk about when I say Pensacola, you say, and then you come out with your word. And tell me why you chose that for Pensacola. So when I say Pensacola, you say,
Change. I say change because again, I have to just expound on what Enrico and Manager of the Year is doing. There's going to be a huge change in this city after this weekend. The culture shift is just going to shake through this whole city after they see Sacred. And it's going to prepare them for our filming of the series come January. And just the excitement of waiting to see how this series is going to come together. So every week they'll be able to sit on that edge of that sofa and watch and watch and watch. So the change of this culture is going to happen. The film industry is going to change for Pensacola because it's now going to be a new market.
Mhm.
And that's what he pushed for.
yeah.
Enrico pushed to have a new market in this city, and that's what's getting ready to take shape.
All right. Okay. And who's up next? When I say
I'll go.
Pensacola, okay. So when I say Pensacola, you say,
Awakening. It's going to be a huge awakening in Pensacola. It's going to be it's going to be for everyone to wake up and see what this man has been doing.
mhm.
Mhm.
So I say awakening.
I love it.
Yes.
So Monica, when I say Pensacola, you say,
I say empowering. When people see it, they're going to definitely feel empowered. They're going to see it and say, wow, this really happened in Pensacola with, majority of local actors. It's going to be, like my father said, it's going to be changing, life changing, honestly.
hmm, hmm. And Sade, when I say Pensacola, you say,
Creative.
hmm.
And I say that because of the pure talent that has come out of this place, out of Pensacola, the creative minds behind the production, behind the writing, the everybody that's shooting the film, sound people, everything that goes into making this or went into making this, and all the other films that have been created. The creativity that comes out of these people is amazing. The actors and actresses, everybody involved, is full of creativity.
Oh, thank you guys so much for being on It's the Miami Night Show Grief Talk. I truly appreciate your time once again.
Yeah.
For being here for another hour. We had some hiccups earlier, but I'm so grateful that I had you for to be able to pour into me what's happening in this industry and just telling me more about who you are so I can get to know about who you are as opposed to this character and then follow you in that manner as well. I'm sure you all have a tribe, you all have followers, you all have family and friends and people that you can shout out to. But if you could, for me, leave either your Instagram or somewhere with social media if someone wants to reach you. I'll follow your story more because this is really about content building and helping you grow as well.
Okay, well, I can be reached on Facebook at Nora Jean, JE apostrophe AN is actually never Nora Joan, but Okay, Nora Jean. And on Instagram, I am listed under The Real Mrs. Brooks.
So Instagram, Darren Bird 74, and Facebook is Darren Bird.
Okay. And then with me, I am on Facebook as LaMonica Lewis, and my Instagram is LaMonica K Lewis.
And for me, on Facebook, I am Sade Correll, and that's Corell. And on Instagram, I am _Correll. That is my stage name. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Like I said, once again, for being on It's the Miami Night Show Grief Talk, sharing your journey, sharing your story. If there's anything else that you would like for your listeners to know, or my listeners to know about you, this role, this character, what's going to be happening this weekend, you can share it at this time. I truly appreciate y'all. Y'all look good.
Well, we appreciate you. We thank you for
Absolutely.
having us on your show. We feel like celebrities. Thank you.
Too, and I'm looking forward to Sacred and all the secrets.
Yes.
Okay, you guys have a great night. Thank you so much.
Well, there you have it, Grief Nation listeners, and thank you for tuning in to another transformative segment on It's the Miami Night Show Grief Talk. Today, we give thanks filled with love and gratitude to our special guests for expressing your very unique grief journey and sharing ways of understanding the healing process. This is your girl, Miami Night, with much love and light until we connect again spiritually. Bye-bye.
Slow mo.
He's got me walking that grief walk.
Going slow mo.
He's got me talking that grief talk.
Going slow mo.
He's got me clocking the
It's the Miami Night Show.
hey, yeah.
Slow mo.
He's got me walking that grief walk.
Going slow mo.
He's got me talking that grief talk.
Going slow mo.
He's got me clocking the
What up, tribe? It's Miami Night Show Master Grief Coach. Welcome to the Miami Night Show. He got me walking that grief walk. It's time for Grief Talk, y'all.
I talk about things you think about.
It's Miami Night Show Master Grief Coach.